Hello, I'm Susan Woods of Susan Woods Nonprofit Solutions. Thank you so much for your time. I would like to take a few moments to talk about the importance of authenticating nonprofits during a time of crisis. You know, as well as I know, that we are in a time of crisis for a variety of different reasons. Several things are going on right now. We have the COVID-19 virus, and we have racial unrest. So we are living in a time of crisis. Like many of you, I have been experiencing anxiety, and I admit at some points depression because of the things that are going on in our country right now. However, I don't know how to describe the impact of seeing Mr. George Floyd die on camera has had on my life. I've been impacted very deeply. And I don't know, I can't explain because it's not as if I haven't seen terrible things. I've read about terrible things happening to Black people. It's just something about seeing a man on the ground, helpless, pleading for his life until his life left his body. It's just something about seeing the cop with his knee on the man's neck, listening to Mr. George Floyd scream for his life and tell him and yelling, he can't breathe. It's caused me to wonder, what type of soul do you have if you are capable of doing something that atrocious? And what does it say about the cops who did not intervene? That incident, that video is seared in my brain and has caused me grief over the past few days. It's caused me to want to invest financially in organizations that are making a difference, in organizations that are a part of the solution to this racial divide that seems to be getting wider in the United States. But as someone who has worked in the nonprofit sector as a consultant since 2003, I understand that I can't get caught up in my emotions and just give money without due diligence. I understand the importance of authenticating nonprofits during a time of crisis because you can get caught up if you're not careful. The nonprofit organization that I was considering investing in is Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter came about in 2013 as a hashtag, really. It was in response to the acquittal of George Zimmerman for murdering Trayvon Martin. We all remember that. That's when this quote was born. It is a rallying cry, and it is great at galvanizing people under one mantra. But my question is, does Black Lives Matter have a 501c3 nonprofit status? Is it a nonprofit organization? I asked that question because on the website, on the Black Lives Matter website, there is a donate button, which makes me think it is a 501c3 nonprofit organization or some other type of nonprofit organization that the IRS allows to receive tax deductible donations and thereby allows the investors to write off the donation. So I did a little research and I would like to share my results with you. So I'm going to stop sharing the screen just for one moment to open the Black Lives Matter website. So just one moment, please. Thank you for your patience. Okay, so this is the Black Lives Matter website. And as you can see, it is prominently displaying this donate button. Let's talk a little bit about Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter was born again in 2013, and the founders are Patrice Kahn Krullers. Hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly. And you can read information about her here. Alicia Garza, and you can read some information about her here. And of course, you can always go back and read this on your own. And Opal Tometi, and I'm probably not pronouncing her name correctly. And you can read information about her here. Now, again, before I make a donation to any organization, I do my homework to try to understand the organization, which I would advise anyone to do, because the purpose of your donation is to make a difference. So we're starting with these three ladies who founded Black Lives Matter. And Black Lives Matter has expanded to include chapters across the United States and Canada. So I'm going to pull up the current chapters. Here are the current chapters. Like I said, across the United States and in Canada. So in the United States, you have Boston, Chicago, DC, Denver, Detroit, Los Angeles, Lansing, Long Beach, official Black Lives Matter Memphis chapter, Nashville, New York City, Philly, South Bend, Canada, Toronto, and Vancouver and Waterloo. Okay? So it's expanded, and I'm sure, well, it's expanded. So I'm going to click on now the donate button. Now, normally when you click on the donate button, it will go to the organization's PayPal account or some other type of account that manages the donations of the organization. Well, when I clicked on the donate button, it came to this URL. If you look up here, always look up here whenever you're making a donation, because this is where your money actually goes. The money actually goes to an organization called actblue.com. So what is actblue.com? You see, you don't see that here, do you? You see urgent fund the movement. We appreciate your support of the movement in our ongoing fight to end state-sanctioned violence, liberate Black people, and end white supremacy forever. That strikes a chord now, doesn't it, with everything that's going on? So you'll be tempted to make a donation. Your contribution would benefit Black Lives Matter Global Network. Okay, Global Network. I don't recall seeing that in any of the information I read on the homepage, but I will go back to make sure. As you scroll down, then you see the contribution rules. This contribution is made from my funds, from my own funds, or the funds of an authorizing corporation or other entity, and the funds are not being provided by any other person or entity. Act Blue Charities is a registered charitable organization formed to democratize, sorry about my reading, to democratize charitable giving. A copy of our latest financial report may be obtained by emailing, so on and so forth. So I became a little confused about what is really going on here, because you have Black Lives Matter, then you have my contribution is going to benefit Black Lives Matter Global Network, and then it's going to be managed by Act Blue Charities. Okay, let me go back. And this is what I did. I said, let me go back. Maybe I missed something. So I'm going to click on about Black Lives Matter. Okay. So hashtag Black Lives Matter was founded in 2013 in response to the acquittal of Trayvon Martin's murderer, like I said before. Black Lives Matter Foundation, Inc. is a global organization in the US, UK, and Canada, whose mission it is to eradicate white supremacy and build local power to intervene in violence inflicted on Black communities by the state and vigilantes, and so on and so forth. So here is yet another name, Black Lives Matter Foundation, Inc. All right, so I'm wondering what is, this is not crystal clear to me. It's not crystal clear to my satisfaction. Black Lives Matter should be Black Lives Matter. So now it appears to be a Black Lives Matter Global Network, a Black Lives Matter Foundation, Inc., that funnels money through Act Blue Charities. Okay, fine. I still want to donate. I still want to contribute, but I still want to be careful. So I'm going to stop the sharing for just one moment to pull up irs.gov, because if you want to know anything about a nonprofit, you can always go to irs.gov. So I'm going to stop sharing for just one moment, and I'll be right back. Thank you for your patience. Okay, I'm coming right back. Thank you so much for your patience. I apologize. Here it is. Taking me a minute. Thank you. Okay, so now I'm with irs.gov, of course, the official website of the United States government. And this is where nonprofit organizations are tracked. So if you ever want to check the status of a nonprofit organization, you just go to the search option and type in tax-exempt organization search. I've done this several times, so it saved my search option. So I'm going to click on that and then click on search. Now, I'm going to click on tax-exempt organization search, which was formerly called select check. And we are at the tax-exempt organization search, formerly select check. I'm not going to read through all of this content because I know exactly where I need to go. So I'm just going to click on the tax-exempt organization search. And I am going to type in Black Lives Matter. And you see, I've done this several times because, like I said, I've been trying to get information, and I'm just going to share my results with you, and you make your own decisions. When I typed in Black Lives Matter, I get a list. I get 13 results showing 1 to 13 results of 13. Okay. So you have Black Lives Matter in Charleston, Black Lives Matter 2 in Middleburg, Florida, Black Lives Matter 5280 in Denver, Black Lives Matter Foundation in Canyon Country, California, Black Lives Matter Vancouver, Black Lives Matter, I don't know what this is, VT Limited, what is that, Winoska, Vermont? I don't know. And then another Black Lives Matter Atlanta, Georgia, Black Lives Matter Brooklyn, New York, Black Lives Matter Zion, Illinois, Black Lives Matter Riverside, California, Black Lives Matter Help Us, Riverside, California, Black Lives Matter Help Us, Seattle, Washington, Black Lives Matter Help Us, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and Black Lives Matter Help Us, Burlington, Vermont, I think. Okay. So now, if can you understand my point of view as a potential investor? You have all of these Black Lives Matter organizations, 13 of them. And like we said, we have 15 chapters, 13 in the United States and 2 outside of the United States. So can you cross-reference these? Do you see one for Los Angeles, California? Let's see, because that's where it was born. No? Okay. Another thing you can look for when you're looking to validate the authenticity of nonprofits is auto revocation lists. Right away, I know that the Black Lives Matter chapter in North Charleston, South Carolina is not active because it's on the automatic revocation list. That means the IRS revoked the status. It doesn't exist anymore. It didn't file the Form 990 information returns for 3 consecutive years. So they don't have a status. The one in Middleburg, Florida does not have a status. They're revoked. Denver, Colorado, no status. Atlanta, Georgia, no status. They're revoked. Bronx, New York, revoked. Okay. They are revoked. Those are revoked. So no need to even consider making an investment there because it would be illegal and fraudulent if they accepted it. So the other ones, when you see publication 78, that means they do have a status and they are published as a 501c3 status. This means they have Form 990 returns on file. This means they have a determination on file that shows when they were received 501c3 status, and this shows that they do have copies of their returns on file. A Form 990 is an information return that nonprofit organizations are required to submit every year, whether or not they generate revenues. You still have to alert the IRS to let them know how much money your organization generated in the prior year, each year. So I'm going to click on the Black Lives Matter Foundation because if you recall, on the website, they did reference that Black Lives Matter is actually Black Lives Matter Foundation. So I'm going to click on that to get some more information. Now, the determination letter is the letter that lets you know that your organization received 501c3 status, and now you are able to act as a 501c3 nonprofit organization. That's what the determination letter stipulates. Publication 78 just lists the organizations that are eligible to receive tax-deductible charitable contributions. And this PC means public charity. Form 990N e-postcard means organizations who have filed a Form 990N e-postcard annual electronic notice, which means they received less than $50,000. They generated less than $50,000 in 2015 and in 2016. That's what this means. So if I click on one, that's what it says. Now, it shows the tax period of 1/1/2015 to 12/31/2015. This is the employer identification number, which is the number that you use to track the status of nonprofit organizations. And this is the legal name of the organization, Black Lives Matter Foundation. The mailing address is in Canyon Country, California. The principal officer's name is Robert Ray Barnes. Okay. And he has the same address as the nonprofit. And it's saying that they did not receive gross receipts greater than $50,000 in that year. Okay. And it will be the same thing for 2016. But 2017, you notice they filed a Form 990, not a 990N e-postcard, but a 990, which is your clue that they earned more than $50,000. So the Form 990 that they filed in 2017 is over here, a copy of the Form 990 filing. So I'm going to open that up. And this Form 990 filing shows you the name of the principal officer, which is still Robert Ray Barnes. His address is not the same. Let's see, he's in Santa Clara, California now for 2017. And I'm just going to scroll down to the amount of money they generated in 2017. It was $279,109. That's quite a significant jump, isn't it? From one year to the next. One year you're saying you earn less than 50,000, and then the next year you up to 279,109. Okay, good for them, right? I'm gonna keep scrolling down. Pardon the scrolling, but I just want to show something. That really caught my eye. We're supposed to be able to see an itemized listing of how the money, the 279, was used, and I could never find it in this 990 information return. But apparently, it's fine. They filed it with the IRS, and I guess everything is good. This page shows the information about compensation for the officers of the directors or the trustees, the board of directors, and Mr. Robert Ray Barnes says he works about 25 hours a week and makes $24,000. Okay, the other board members don't earn any money, but they stated that they work 1 hour a week. Let's see. I'm still looking for an itemized listing of where the money goes. Okay. $175 goes to accounting, grants, and other assistance to domestic organizations. They gave $9,150 to some other organizations, I presume. What is my point in doing this? I'm not trying to bash Black Lives Matter, but as a potential investor, it's my right to look at their records. I have a right to do that. And I'm just not happy with what I'm seeing. Let's look at the first year they were in business in 2015. They generated $500. In 2016, they generated $26,384. In 2017, they generated $279,109. That's a very, very big jump in revenues over the years. But good for them, right? I'm just scrolling through, Trying to see if there's any itemization of where the money actually goes. I see they granted an organization $5,150 to the Family Renewal Development Center in Carson, California, and it was for homeless assistance. Okay, that's good. Hmm. Well, that's about it. That's the 990, and I never saw where the money went. So okay, so we'll go back. Um, They have not filed a Form 990 for 2018 or 2019 yet. I hope they do, because if they miss 3 consecutive years, the IRS will automatically revoke the status. Okay, then. All righty. I looked at this was the Black Lives Matter Foundation, and I'm assuming it matches up with the Black Lives Matter Foundation that was referenced on the Black Lives Matter homepage, or About Us page, rather. Okay. All righty. I want to take a look at their determination letter. I believe this might be it. No, that's not it. Let me see if I can find it. Just one second, please. I may have to let me stop sharing again so that I can find that document for you. I just want you to see their determination letter. Um, okay, I got it now. So let me thank you for your patience. Let me go back to sharing my screen. And I believe this is it here. Okay. Yeah, this is it. So this is their actual determination letter. I'm going to increase the size so that you can see it better. And like I said, a determination letter states that you have 501c3 status. They received it on June the 5th, 2015 is the date of the letter, but they were actually effective as an exempt organization on May 22nd, 2015. Look at the public charity status. The public charity status is a 509A2. It's not a 501c3. A 509A2 is still a nonprofit organization, though, but that's the public charity status. They do have 501c3 nonprofit status. They are exempt under the 501c3 nonprofit status, but they are a public charity under 509A2. So a 509A2 public charity is what is called a supporting public charity, meaning they generate revenues to support other organizations. Okay. And that makes sense because they have chapters, they keep adding chapters. So I guess the Black Lives Matter Foundation is sort of like the central. I don't know. I don't know, because when I investigated all of the other charities that did not have a revoked status, according to their websites, they seem to be operating on their own. You see, a foundation normally is a central location for money to be donated, right? And then they would distribute the money to the chapters. But based on my research, the chapters seem to be operating on their own. Now, going back to what we learned earlier about Act Blue, I'm going to stop sharing once more, and I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to pull up the Act Blue website. Now, Act Blue, remember, that was the one that is used to funnel money through. So let you see that one. Let's see here. Share. Here we go. Now, Act Blue is, to me, it reminds me of a GoFundMe. It reminds me of a GoFundMe account, but it has stipulations. See, you can set up your organization to receive money through Act Blue. There is a 3.95% transaction fee on each contribution. That's how they make money. Okay. Now, I'm just scrolling through because I want to point out the stipulations on how this works. Who can use Act Blue? If you're a candidate, PAC, or C4 nonprofit organization, the first requirement is that you're a Democrat or working for progressive causes. Okay? We can list all federal candidates as well as PACs and C4, not C3, C4 nonprofit organizations. If you're not sure you qualify, contact us here. So this allows your organization to be listed on this site to receive donations. So it's sort of like a directory of people who fall within these parameters. It says if you're a 501c3 organization, you're interested in doing more and better grassroots fundraising, and your organization's mission doesn't contradict our values, you can be listed on our site. So Black Lives Matter on the actual Black Lives Matter Foundation page, remember when I went to donate, Act Blue was going to be the recipient of my donation. And my donation will be assessed 3.95% because they take the 3.95% off the top. Okay. So, one last thing I want to pull up. I want to pull up the Los Angeles Black Lives Matter GoFundMe page. So I'm going to pause the share, go to that, and I will be right back. Thank you again for your patience. Okay, so now I am on the Black Lives Matter Los Angeles GoFundMe page. Now, as a potential donor, this is what I'm confused about. If Black Lives Matter Foundation uses Act Blue as its pass-through fundraising location, why is the Black Lives Matter Los Angeles chapter using GoFundMe? Right? And this has been growing all day. They set $1 million goal, and look, they have 1.6 million and growing. People are steadily giving money. Good for them, right? Now, I'm going to read what this is. Hashtag Black Lives Matter Los Angeles is the original chapter of the global movement built to challenge state sanctions violence against Black people and to vision and build a just and free society. Since 2013, Black Lives Matter organizers have been doing work to disrupt systems of oppression and work vision and build the kind of world in which we want to live. Our work includes nonviolent direct action, policy work, movement building, strengthening alliances, community self-care, and creative engagement. We are not a direct service or charity organization. You're not a charity organization. But on irs.gov, you had PC beside your charitable status, which means public charity. Anyway, however, we are connected to engage with and provide as much support as possible to the families of those killed by law enforcement, many of whom have become members of Black Lives Matter LA. Support, much support as possible to families of those killed by law enforcement. What type of support? When I looked through the Form 990, I didn't see any financial support itemized for families. Okay. Over the past 5 years, our membership has grown from 30 original members to thousands and 38 chapters around the globe, with Los Angeles remaining one of the largest, most active chapters. As we continue to challenge the system, there are real costs involved. Okay, we're getting to the nitty gritty now. We're getting to know where the money is going. We need your support for materials and supplies, okay, travel, okay, and facility costs related to actions, meetings, and our ongoing work. Please give what you can and encourage others to do the same. Hashtag Black Lives Matter. So the money, the 1.6 million, almost $7 million that they've generated so far from over 23,000 donors is going to go for material, supplies, travel, facilities costs related to the actions, meetings, and ongoing work. I would love to be able to see an itemized listing of this money. I would hate to think that any nonprofit is capitalizing on emotions. Emotions are raw right now. And Black Lives Matter is in a position to benefit financially from raw emotions. You see, when a hurricane happens, you have organizations coming forth saying that they're generating revenues to help the victims of hurricanes. The American Red Cross comes to mind. You remember the hurricanes in Haiti? And they were going to rebuild Haiti, the American Red Cross. They raised millions and millions of dollars, and they don't have anything to show for it, really. The money was raised based on emotion. It was unorganized. People on the inside of the American Red Cross said it was the most unorganized effort they've ever seen. They had almost fields of bottled water that was wasted because it stayed in the sun so long it became unusable. What is my point? My point is, I hope that Black Lives Matter is not capitalizing on the hurt that people are feeling because of Mr. George Floyd's murder. I believe that there should have been some type of recognition for Black Lives Matter made by the family by now of some type of service that they provided to them. I'm sorry, based on this broad definition of where the money goes, I'm still not clear on where it goes. What kind of travel are you doing? What kind of materials and supplies? What type of facilities costs related to actions and meetings and ongoing work? That's very broad. And you could have narrowed it down on your Form 990 information return. I am looking forward to the 2018 and the 2019 Form 990 information returns for Black Lives Matter Los Angeles, aka Black Lives Matter, aka Black Lives Matter Foundation, aka Black Lives Matter Global Network. I commend you on being a rallying cry, but I just hope and pray that you're using the money that you're generating correctly. I'm going to stop sharing for just a moment to pull up my final thoughts about this whole issue. So, does Black Lives Matter have a 501c3 nonprofit status? Going back to my question, I don't know. That's my answer. According to the determination letter, Black Lives Matter Foundation has a 501c3 nonprofit status. It's operating as a public charity under the 509AC status. But when you look at the GoFundMe page, the originator of the GoFundMe campaign said that it's not a public charity and it don't provide direct services. So I don't know. I don't know. The authentic, I'm sorry, let me take my time. 501c3 authentication process. These are the steps that I use to try to authenticate the status of Black Lives Matter. I went to the website and I tried to gather information from the website. Then I went to irs.gov and I did the tax-exempt organization search to find out if they had 990s listed, and they did. We found out that there were 13 Black Lives Matter names, different names. 5 of them were revoked. We read the 990 return for the Black Lives Matter Foundation, and we saw that it generated $500 in 2015, 20,000 and some dollars in 2016, and then $279,000 in 2017. I don't know what they have in 2018 and 2019 because they haven't filed yet. Then we talked about why actblue.org was serving as the recipient of money generated from the Black Lives Matter Foundation. However, the other name for Black Lives Matter Foundation, which is Black Lives Matter LA, is generating money through a GoFundMe account and not through ActBlue. GoFundMe is charging 8% processing fees on every dollar that they generate. So GoFundMe is very happy. Conclusion, my concerns, there are no clear leaders. You have the founders listed, but they're not listed in the list of board of directors. So I don't know who's really leading the overall Black Lives Matter. No measurable objectives. What are we doing? What are you changing? What's happening as a result of this organization? No tangible action plans. You have to travel. You need money for traveling. You need money for supplies. You need money for meetings and so on and so forth. But to do what? No financial transparency. The transparency is not there for me. For me, I don't see financial transparency because the Form 990 information return is developed or created to provide financial transparency. And I didn't see it. I didn't see anything add up to $279,000. No clear sustainability plans. You know, Black Lives Matter reminds me of the Black Power mantra in the 70s. Everybody, I was a young girl then, everybody was walking around with their fist in the air, Black Power, Soul Power, and all kind of stuff. And it galvanized Black people, and it really helped me feel proud about being Black. But it wasn't sustainable because there was no legislation around that. You see, when you have the Civil Rights Act and the Voting Rights Act, those protesters protested for a goal, for a change in writing on the federal level. I don't see that here. I don't see anyone trying to move us forward through Black Lives Matter for federal change. So how are you going to sustain this? I don't see any sustainability plans at all. No cohesiveness among the chapters. I went to every chapter that was active. I went to all of the websites for all active chapters, and they all look different. There is no cohesiveness. There, and not only did they not look alike, they didn't have the same content. No one is governing Black Lives Matter, from my perspective, from the top to make sure the chapters are adhering to whatever vision, mission, objectives, and goals are established. And there's no consistency. You see Black Lives Matter emerge when tragedies occur. And then it becomes a hashtag again. If there were data analysts who track the usage of, of hashtags, I'm sure they would have a correlation between tragedies and the amount of times the hashtag Black Lives Matter is used. There is a correlation between tragedies and Black Lives Matter. I guarantee you, if someone did the research, I'm sure it is, because it seems they only come up when tragedies occur. Now, in about a month, the hashtag is gonna diminish again. One more thing that I would share that bothers me personally is Black Lives Matter don't take up the cause with Black on Black crime. According to Black Lives Matter, Black lives only matter when they are taken by white supremacists. If Black Lives Matter, they should matter no matter what. Black Lives Matter should be in a position to tackle Black on Black murders too. But that's me on my soapbox. So if you want to authenticate any nonprofit organization that claims to be a 501c3, you can do what I did. Go to the nonprofit's website, do your homework, look for an employer identification number, because it should be boldly displayed on any nonprofit's website, because that is the number that's used to help you authenticate its status. Then go to irs.gov, do the tax exempt organization search. Then look for their 990 returns. See if they have an active 990 or if they have been revoked. And you may want to check with actblue.org to see if they participate in that organization as well. I want to close by saying that I'm not knocking Black Lives Matter. If you want to donate, that is your prerogative. I just am surprised at the way it is organized. It has a world stage. Like it said, it is a global network. There are people all over the world walking around with Black Lives Matter on posters. Why not organize, create action plans to move forth with some type of federal law if that is really what you want to do? Use your platform to reach out to people who are in position, Congress people, senators, to make a difference for future generations. So I was planning to talk to you about um, my ability to complete the 501c3 application packet for you if you wanted to start a nonprofit organization, but I changed my mind. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to close by saying that I hope the information that I've shared with you is beneficial to you and that you will be able to do your own due diligence when looking for organizations to invest in. Thank you so much for your time and have a great day.